Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to change your life, you must first change the words you speak about yourself. Your mouth is not just a place for conversation, it is the gateway to creation. Every time you open your mouth, you are either blessing your future or limiting it. Most people don't realize it, but we are constantly speaking ourselves into alignment with either destiny or defeat. You cannot speak defeat and expect victory. You cannot declare lack and walk into abundance. The universe, your spirit, and even your subconscious respond to the language you use daily. If you keep saying, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never make it," your mind will start believing it, and worse, it will start creating a reality around it. But if you rise each day and say, "I am favored, I am strong, I am equipped for every challenge," you begin to change the very chemistry of your belief system. Speaking blessings upon yourself is not arrogance. It's agreement with your divine purpose. It's choosing to align with the truth that you were created for greatness. When you speak life, healing, favor, and breakthrough over yourself, you give permission for those things to manifest. You're not just speaking into the air, you're speaking into your atmosphere, your habits, your thoughts, your decisions, and eventually your future. You don't have to wait for someone to validate you. God already did that when He created you. It's time to stop waiting on compliments and start declaring your calling. Words carry spiritual power. Think about how God created the world, not with His hands, but with His voice. Let there be light, and there was. If the Creator used words to build the world, why would you think your words can't build your life? Every time you say, "I am blessed," you are shifting your energy. Every time you say, "I'm rising above this," you are giving your future new instruction. And when you say, "I will not be shaken," you are giving your soul strength. Bless yourself when no one else does. Say good things about your health, your family, your goals. Don't speak about where you are, speak about where you're going. Blessings spoken in faith are like seeds planted in fertile ground. The more consistent you are, the stronger the roots of belief become. And when the storms of life come, and they will, it won't be your circumstances that determine your future, it will be your words. So speak boldly, speak wisely, and speak blessings, because your words have the power to change your life. Your words create your world in ways that are far more powerful than most people realize. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, the things you say to yourself, either out loud or silently in your mind, are shaping your reality. It might sound simple or even obvious, but the truth is that your spoken and unspoken words influence your emotions, decisions, and actions, which then shape the outcomes you experience in life. Think about it. When you say positive, uplifting things about yourself or your situation, you feel encouraged, motivated, and more confident. But when you speak negatively, doubt or fear begins to grow and your energy shifts toward discouragement and stagnation. This pattern repeats itself every day, quietly building or breaking your sense of self and your external circumstances. The way this works is both psychological and spiritual. Psychologically, your brain is wired to respond to repetition. The more you say something, the more your mind accepts it as truth. This is why affirmations and positive self-talk are so important. They train your brain to focus on possibility instead of limitation. Spiritually, many traditions teach that words carry creative power. When you speak, you're not just describing the world, you are helping to create it. The energy behind your words moves through you and out into your environment, influencing not only your mindset, but also how others perceive and respond to you. When you speak with faith and positivity, you open doors that might otherwise stay closed. You begin to attract opportunities and relationships that align with the vision you hold for yourself. Unfortunately, many people unknowingly sabotage themselves with negative self-talk. When stress, failure, or disappointment comes, it's easy to slip into statements like, "I can't do this," "I'm not worthy," or "nothing ever works out for me." These words become a self-fulfilling prophecy because your subconscious mind believes what it hears most often. You might even say these things so often that they become your default story. Changing your life means changing this internal dialogue. It's about catching yourself every time you speak defeat and replacing it immediately with a blessing or a statement of hope. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to speak from a place of faith and strength, even when things seem difficult. Speaking blessings upon yourself shifts your perspective from limitation to possibility. When you bless your health, your career, your relationships, or your purpose, you are making a conscious decision to focus on what is good and what can grow. Blessing yourself is like watering a garden. It nourishes the seeds of your potential so they can sprout and thrive. This mindset influences your actions, encouraging you to take steps toward your goals with confidence and determination. It also helps you build resilience because the words of blessing create a mental shield against discouragement and negativity. One of the most important things to remember is that blessings spoken in faith align you with your higher purpose. You were created with unique gifts and a plan meant to impact the world positively. When you speak blessings over yourself, you affirm that you are worthy of success and happiness. This is not about ego or pride. It is about recognizing your inherent value and claiming the life you were meant to live. When your words reflect this truth, you begin to operate from a place of power rather than fear or doubt. Ultimately, your words are the foundation upon which your life is built. If you want to change your circumstances, the first step is to change what you say about yourself and your future. Choose to speak blessings daily. Declare your strengths, your dreams, and your victories. Over time, this consistent practice rewires your mind and spirit, opening the door for new possibilities and growth. Your world responds to your words, so speak wisely, speak positively, and speak blessings, because your words truly create your world. Self-talk is one of the most powerful habits we engage in daily, yet it often goes unnoticed and unappreciated. Every moment of the day, whether you realize it or not, you are communicating with yourself through your inner dialogue. This ongoing conversation shapes your feelings, your mindset, and ultimately your reality. The habit of self-talk is so ingrained that it can feel automatic, a kind of background noise in your mind. But its effects are anything but passive. Positive self-talk uplifts, motivates, and empowers you to face challenges with confidence. Negative self-talk, on the other hand, can erode your self-esteem, build doubt, and create mental barriers that keep you from reaching your full potential. The words you choose to say to yourself set the tone for your entire day. If you wake up and immediately think, "I'm not ready for this," or "today will be tough," you start your day with resistance and fear. That inner message can influence how you respond to obstacles and opportunities. Conversely, when you begin your day with statements like, "I am capable," or "I am prepared for success," you establish a foundation of confidence that helps you tackle whatever comes your way. It's not just about wishful thinking, it's about actively training your mind to focus on positive possibilities rather than negative fears. Self-talk is also essential because it influences your emotions. The way you speak to yourself affects how you feel. When you tell yourself you are worthy and deserving of good things, your emotions align with those thoughts. You feel more hopeful, calm, and driven. But if you are harsh or critical with yourself, telling yourself you are a failure or not good enough, you create feelings of anxiety, sadness, or frustration. These emotions then affect your behavior. You might withdraw from challenges, procrastinate, or avoid pursuing your dreams altogether. In this way, self-talk is a powerful force that shapes your actions and results. Changing your self-talk requires awareness and practice. The first step is to notice what you are saying to yourself throughout the day. Many people don't realize how negative or limiting their internal dialogue can be until they start paying attention. When you become aware of these patterns, you can begin to interrupt them. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," stop and replace it with, "I'm learning and I can improve." If your mind says, "I'm not good enough," shift it to, "I am worthy and growing every day." These small changes, repeated consistently, can gradually transform your mindset. It is also important to be patient with yourself during this process. Negative self-talk often develops over years, influenced by past experiences, critical voices, or societal pressures. Reversing those habits won't happen overnight. But every positive word you speak to yourself is a step toward healing and empowerment. Over time, positive self-talk builds resilience, improves mental health, and creates a mindset that attracts success. Another key aspect of self-talk is that it reflects your beliefs about yourself and the world. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you are actively changing those beliefs. Instead of telling yourself you are a victim of circumstance, you declare your power to overcome. Instead of accepting limitations, you speak of possibility. This shift in belief changes how you interpret events around you and influences your choices. People with positive self-talk tend to take more initiative, set higher goals, and bounce back quicker from setbacks. Finally, self-talk is a tool you have available at all times. It costs nothing and can be done anywhere. Whether you are facing a tough decision, preparing for an important meeting, or simply starting your day, the words you say to yourself can be your greatest source of strength or your biggest obstacle. Learning to make self-talk a habit of blessing and encouragement is a transformative practice that will impact every area of your life. It helps you build the mindset necessary for lasting change, success, and fulfillment. In conclusion, self-talk is not just idle mental chatter, it is a daily habit with profound effects. By choosing to speak blessings upon yourself and cultivating positive self-talk, you create a foundation of belief and confidence that empowers you to change your life. This habit shapes your emotions, guides your actions, and rewires your mind for growth and resilience. The power is in your hands, or rather, in your words, to build a life filled with hope, strength, and achievement. Speaking blessings upon yourself is often misunderstood. Many think it is arrogance or self-centeredness, but in reality, it is an essential step toward aligning with your true purpose and potential. When you speak blessings, you are not boasting about what you already have. Rather, you are declaring faith in what is possible for you. This kind of self-affirmation is necessary because it helps you step out of doubt, fear, and limitation and step into confidence, hope, and possibility. One reason blessing yourself is so important is because it shifts your internal focus. When you consistently speak blessings, you are choosing to focus on the positive aspects of who you are and what you can become, rather than the obstacles or shortcomings you may perceive. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It means recognizing that your current circumstances do not define your destiny. You affirm that despite challenges, you have the strength, wisdom, and grace to overcome and thrive. Blessing yourself builds a mental environment where growth is possible because it replaces the seeds of doubt with seeds of encouragement. Furthermore, speaking blessings upon yourself helps you break free from limiting beliefs and negative self-images. Often we inherit these from childhood, society, or past failures. We may have heard messages like, "You're not good enough," or "You don't deserve success," and these become deeply embedded in our minds. But when you deliberately speak blessings, you challenge those old narratives. You replace lies with truth, weakness with strength, and fear with courage. This active choice rewires your thought patterns and builds a new foundation of self-worth and possibility. Blessing yourself also aligns with many spiritual traditions that emphasize the power of spoken words. In many faiths, words are considered to hold creative energy. To speak a blessing is to invite divine favor, protection, and provision into your life. It is a way of co-creating with a higher power, acknowledging that you are part of a larger plan and that your life has meaning and purpose. When you bless yourself in this way, you are opening yourself up to receive guidance, strength, and blessings beyond what you can see or understand at the moment. This practice encourages you to become your own advocate and champion. Too often, people wait for external validation, approval from others, recognition, or compliments to feel worthy or successful. But waiting for others to bless you can leave you feeling powerless or dependent. By speaking blessings upon yourself, you take ownership of your self-worth and your destiny. You become the primary source of encouragement in your own life. This doesn't mean shutting out others or refusing help. It means that no matter what external circumstances arise, you have an inner well of affirmation and hope to draw from. The habit of blessing yourself also has a ripple effect on how you interact with the world. When you believe in your own blessings, you carry yourself with greater confidence and authenticity. This changes how people perceive you and how opportunities come your way. You start to attract positive relationships, experiences, and outcomes because your energy shifts from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith. Speaking blessings creates an invisible magnetism that draws good things to you, not because you are arrogant, but because you are aligned with your true self. Finally, blessing yourself is a daily practice that requires consistency and intention. It's not just about saying a few kind words occasionally, but about making a lifelong commitment to speak life, hope, and possibility over yourself every day. This transforms not only your mindset, but also your habits, decisions, and ultimately your destiny. The more you bless yourself, the more your life changes, not because of luck or coincidence, but because you have changed the very foundation of your thinking and being. In essence, speaking blessings upon yourself is a powerful act of faith, self-love, and transformation. It is not about pride, but about aligning with your highest potential and living with purpose. When you bless yourself, you unlock the door to a life of confidence, resilience, and endless possibilities. It's a vital step on the journey to change your life from the inside out. What you speak has a magnetic power that influences what you attract into your life. This principle is often summarized in the phrase, "What you say, you attract." It's not just a catchy saying, but a deeply rooted truth about how the universe, your mind, and even your spirit respond to your words. When you consistently speak blessings, positive affirmations, and hopeful declarations, you create an energetic frequency that draws similar experiences and people toward you. Conversely, if you speak doubt, fear, or negativity, you send out vibrations that attract more of the same. Your words act like a signal to the world, guiding your reality toward the things you expect. The idea that your words have attracting power is supported by science as well as spirituality. Psychologists have found that our beliefs, which are formed and reinforced through language, affect how we behave and what outcomes we pursue. When you believe in your potential and speak positively about your goals, you are more likely to take the steps necessary to achieve them. Your attitude influences your motivation, resilience, and the choices you make. These actions, in turn, create opportunities that align with your spoken intentions. On a spiritual level, many traditions teach that words carry creative energy. By speaking blessings and affirmations, you are inviting divine favor and opening the door for miracles and breakthroughs. When you understand this, you begin to see that every word you say is an act of creation. Speaking blessings upon yourself is an intentional act that sends a clear message to your subconscious and to the universe about who you are and what you desire. It's like planting seeds in a garden. If you plant seeds of doubt or negativity, the harvest will be limited. But if you plant seeds of faith, hope, and blessing, you create fertile ground for growth and abundance. The more consistently you speak blessings, the stronger the attraction becomes. Your life begins to shift in alignment with your spoken words. It is important to realize that this attraction process is not about magical thinking or simply repeating positive phrases without action. Words set the direction, but you still have to take responsibility and act accordingly. Speaking blessings awakens your inner power and focus, helping you to notice opportunities, make better decisions, and persevere through challenges. It builds your confidence to move forward even when the path is uncertain. In other words, your words prime your mind and spirit to work actively toward the life you envision. Many people unknowingly attract negative experiences because their words are filled with complaint, fear, or self-doubt. For example, if you constantly say, "I'm unlucky," or "Oh, nothing ever works out for me," you reinforce a mindset of scarcity and defeat. Your energy aligns with those beliefs, and you may unconsciously avoid or sabotage opportunities for success. The cycle becomes self-perpetuating. But when you begin to speak blessings, even in small ways, you interrupt this cycle. You shift from expecting failure to anticipating success. This shift affects not only your internal state, but also how others respond to you. Positive words create a positive atmosphere, and people are naturally drawn to that energy. Another powerful aspect of speaking blessings is that it helps you overcome limiting beliefs and fears. Sometimes we get stuck in old stories about ourselves, stories that say we are not worthy, not capable, or not deserving of happiness. These stories shape the language we use. When you consciously replace those old negative statements with blessings and affirmations, you reprogram your mind. Over time, your subconscious begins to accept the new positive identity you are declaring. This process rewires your brain for success and joy. In summary, what you speak is more than just words. It is a force that attracts corresponding realities into your life. Speaking blessings upon yourself sends out vibrations of hope, faith, and possibility that draw similar energies toward you. This practice aligns your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desires, creating momentum for positive change. By choosing your words carefully and intentionally, you become a creator of your own destiny, inviting abundance, favor, and breakthrough. Your spoken blessings are the seeds that grow the life you want to live. Breaking generational patterns through the power of your words is one of the most profound ways you can change not only your life, but also the lives of those who come after you. Often we inherit beliefs, habits, and even spoken words from our families and communities that limit our potential and keep us trapped in cycles of struggle or negativity. These patterns might include things like poverty mentality, low self-esteem, or unhealthy relationships, passed down not just through behavior, but through the very language that defines what we believe is possible for ourselves. When you speak blessings upon yourself, You begin to rewrite those inherited stories and create a new legacy, one built on hope, empowerment, and possibility. Generational patterns are often reinforced by the words spoken in the home, the stories told around the dinner table, or even the unspoken expectations carried silently through generations. Phrases like, "We don't have money in this family," or "Success is for other people, not us," may have been repeated so many times that they become accepted as truth. These messages form the foundation of how you see yourself and the world. The problem is that when you accept these statements as your reality, you unconsciously limit your actions and expectations. You might find yourself struggling to break free because the voice inside you echoes those same limiting words, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. However, the power to change this narrative lies within your words. When you intentionally speak blessings over yourself, you challenge the negative patterns handed down to you. You say, "I am worthy of abundance. I am capable of greatness. And my future is not bound by my past." This deliberate shift in language begins to dismantle the old, limiting beliefs and replaces them with new, empowering truths. By doing this consistently, you create a new internal blueprint for success and happiness that can become the foundation for generations to come. Speaking blessings to yourself also transforms your mindset, which directly influences your behavior. When you believe that you are capable and deserving, you start making decisions that align with that belief. You seek out opportunities, invest in your growth, and set higher goals. This change in mindset breaks the cycle of limitation because your actions begin to reflect your new language. Your life becomes proof that a different story is possible, inspiring those around you, including family members who may still be caught in old patterns. Moreover, speaking blessings over yourself has a ripple effect beyond just your own life. When you rise above generational curses and negative cycles, you set a new example for your children, siblings, and community. Your words and actions become a testimony that change is possible. This legacy of blessing and empowerment can uplift entire families and communities, creating a future where success and positivity are the new norm instead of struggle and limitation. It's important to remember that breaking generational patterns is a process, not an instant change. Old beliefs can be deeply rooted and may take time to fully release. But consistent blessing of yourself reinforces new beliefs and slowly but surely rewires your thinking. Over time, these new words become your natural way of seeing and speaking about yourself and your future. In addition, this practice encourages healing on multiple levels, emotional, mental, and spiritual. When you speak blessings, you invite grace, forgiveness, and restoration into your life. You begin to heal wounds that may have been passed down or that you have carried for years. This healing allows you to move forward with strength and clarity, rather than being held back by past pain or family history. In conclusion, breaking generational patterns through speaking blessings upon yourself is a powerful act of liberation and transformation. It allows you to rewrite the stories that no longer serve you and create a legacy of hope, strength, and success for yourself and those who follow. By choosing your words carefully and consistently, you not only change your own life, but also become a catalyst for generational change, proving that you are not defined by the past, but empowered by the future you declare. Internal language, the words you say to yourself inside your mind, plays a crucial role in shaping your external behavior and ultimately the life you live. This internal dialogue is like a script that guides how you interpret your experiences, make decisions, and interact with the world around you. The way you talk to yourself influences your confidence, motivation, and resilience. When your internal language is positive and encouraging, you are more likely to take actions that lead to success and fulfillment. Conversely, if your internal language is critical or negative, it can hold you back, causing doubt, fear, and hesitation. Your brain is highly responsive to the messages you feed it. Every thought and word you repeat internally acts like a command that either empowers or limits you. For example, if your internal language frequently says, "I'm not good enough," or "I always fail," your subconscious begins to accept these as truth. This acceptance can cause you to unconsciously sabotage your efforts or avoid challenges altogether. You may not even realize why you hold back, but it often traces back to these internal messages that have been ingrained over time. On the other hand, when your internal language affirms your strengths and potential, it creates a foundation for self-belief and courage that supports taking risks and pursuing your goals. One of the most powerful ways to change your external behavior is to start by changing your internal language. This means becoming aware of the words and thoughts you habitually repeat to yourself and consciously replacing negative or limiting phrases with positive, empowering ones. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I am learning and improving every day." Instead of "I'm not worthy," choose to say, "I deserve happiness and success." These shifts in internal language may feel small at first, but over time they build new neural pathways in your brain that support confidence, resilience, and growth. Changing your internal language also has a profound effect on how you handle setbacks and challenges. When you encounter difficulties, your internal dialogue can either lift you up or tear you down. If you speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement during tough times, you are more likely to persevere and find solutions. However, if your internal language is harsh and critical, you may give up prematurely or spiral into negative thinking. Developing compassionate and constructive self-talk creates a mental environment where setbacks become opportunities for learning and growth rather than reasons to quit. Moreover, internal language shapes your identity and how you see your place in the world. The stories you tell yourself about who you are influence your behavior and the choices you make. If your internal language includes phrases like "I am capable," "I am strong," and "I am worthy," you start to embody those qualities in your daily life. You carry yourself with greater confidence, set higher goals, and engage with others more authentically. This internal narrative becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, guiding you toward the person you want to become. It's also important to recognize that internal language is a habit, one that can be changed with consistent practice. Just as you might train your body through exercise, you can train your mind by regularly speaking positive affirmations and blessings to yourself. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to default to supportive and empowering thoughts instead of critical or fearful ones. This transformation strengthens your mental and emotional health, making it easier to face life's challenges with optimism and determination. Finally, remember that what you say to yourself internally is not just about your thoughts. It influences your emotions and physical state as well. Positive internal language can reduce stress, boost your mood, and increase your overall sense of well-being. When you bless yourself with kind and hopeful words, you nurture your spirit and create a sense of peace and confidence that radiates outward into your daily life. In summary, your internal language is a powerful force that shapes your external behavior and life experience. By becoming aware of and changing your internal dialogue to one of blessing and encouragement, you create a foundation for confidence, resilience, and growth. The words you speak to yourself inside your mind guide your actions and define your reality, so choose them wisely. Through consistent positive self-talk, you transform not only how you feel, but also what you achieve, unlocking the door to the life you desire. Stopping the habit of agreeing with defeat is one of the most important steps you can take toward changing your life. Far too often, people unknowingly reinforce negative circumstances simply by accepting and repeating limiting thoughts or beliefs. When you agree with defeat, you essentially give your power away and allow fear, doubt, or failure to define your future. But the truth is, you have the power to refuse these lies and choose a different narrative, one filled with hope, strength, and possibility. Changing this mindset begins by recognizing the moments when you are agreeing with defeat and deliberately shifting your words and thoughts to blessings and encouragement. Agreeing with defeat often looks like saying things such as, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "it's too late for me." These phrases sound familiar because many people say them quietly to themselves or out loud, believing them to be facts. But these statements are not truth. They are perceptions shaped by fear or past experiences. When you repeat these messages, you reinforce the negative beliefs that hold you back, making it harder to move forward. It becomes a cycle where your words create your reality, and your reality confirms your words, trapping you in a loop of defeat. To stop agreeing with defeat, you must first become aware of how often you accept these limiting thoughts. Awareness is the first step to change, because you cannot fix what you don't recognize. Pay close attention to your self-talk and the language you use about your abilities, your future, and your worth. Notice when you say things that limit yourself or put you down, even if it's just a passing thought. Once you recognize these moments, you can interrupt them. Instead of agreeing with defeat, challenge those thoughts with a new positive statement. For example, replace "I can't do this" with "I am capable of learning and growing." Or "I'm not ready" with "I am preparing myself every day." This shift requires intention and practice because your mind is used to following familiar patterns. It may feel uncomfortable or unnatural at first to refuse defeat and speak blessings over yourself, but like any habit, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Each time you choose to speak positively instead of agreeing with defeat, you strengthen new mental pathways that support resilience and confidence. Over time, your default response changes and you begin to see opportunities where before you saw obstacles. Stopping the agreement with defeat also means refusing to accept other people's negative opinions or labels as your truth. Often defeat is reinforced by voices outside of us. Criticism from family, friends, or society can create limiting beliefs. But the ultimate authority over your life is your own voice and what you decide to believe about yourself. When you choose to bless yourself, you declare independence from those external opinions and reclaim your power. This is an act of courage and self-love that builds your inner strength and shields you from negativity. Furthermore, refusing to agree with defeat opens the door to new possibilities. When you stop saying "I can't" or "I won't," you start to imagine what you could achieve instead. This change in mindset fuels creativity, motivation, and action. You begin to take steps toward your goals with greater confidence and perseverance, knowing that setbacks are temporary and do not define your worth. Blessing yourself through positive words also attracts support and opportunities that align with your renewed belief in yourself. It is important to remember that stopping agreement with defeat doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is easy. Life will have challenges, failures, and moments of doubt, but the difference is how you respond. By refusing to agree with defeat, you choose to face hardships with hope and determination instead of resignation. You become someone who learns from difficulties and grows stronger rather than someone who is defeated by them. In conclusion, stopping the habit of agreeing with defeat is a transformative choice that changes how you think, feel, and act. It breaks the cycle of negativity and opens the way for blessing yourself and your future. This practice requires awareness, intention, and persistence, but the rewards are life-changing. When you refuse to agree with defeat, you reclaim your power, build resilience, and create a path towards success and fulfillment. Your words have the power to either trap you or free you. Choose to speak blessings and watch your life change. Speaking who you want to become, rather than just describing who you are right now, is a powerful way to shape your future. Most people fall into the habit of defining themselves by their current circumstances, limitations, or failures. They say things like, "I'm just not that kind of person," or "This is who I am." While it's important to acknowledge where you are, staying fixed in that identity can prevent growth and change. When you begin to speak intentionally about the person you want to become, you start creating a mental and emotional blueprint that guides your actions and decisions. This process helps you move from simply reacting to your life toward actively creating it. Our minds are naturally wired to seek consistency between what we believe and what we do. When you speak a new version of yourself, your brain begins to look for ways to make that true. For example, if you say, "I am confident and capable," even if you don't feel that way yet, your brain will begin to notice situations that allow you to act confidently. Over time, your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors start to align with the identity you are declaring. This is not about pretending or lying to yourself. It's about planting seeds of possibility and nurturing them until they grow into reality. One of the key reasons this works is that speaking who you want to become influences your subconscious mind, which controls much of your behavior and habits. The subconscious mind responds to repeated messages and begins to accept them as truth. When you consistently tell yourself positive, future-oriented statements, you overwrite old limiting beliefs that might have held you back. Instead of being stuck in patterns of doubt or fear, your subconscious mind starts to support your growth and success. This rewiring creates new pathways that make it easier to act in ways that reflect your desired identity. Speaking your future self also helps you set clearer goals and stay motivated. When you declare, "I am a successful entrepreneur," or "I am a healthy, strong person," you begin to visualize what that looks like in your daily life. This vision becomes a guiding force that influences your choices, from the habits you develop to the people you surround yourself with. Your words become a compass, helping you navigate challenges and stay focused on the bigger picture. It gives you a sense of purpose and direction that can sustain you through difficult times. Another important aspect is that speaking who you want to become builds your confidence and self-esteem. Often, people hesitate to dream big or speak boldly about their future because they feel unworthy or afraid of failure. But when you start by affirming your potential and blessing your journey, you create a foundation of self-love and courage. These affirmations become a source of inner strength that helps you take risks and embrace opportunities. You learn to trust yourself more because your words remind you of your inherent value and capabilities. This practice also encourages patience and persistence. Change doesn't happen overnight, and becoming the person you envision takes time. By consistently speaking blessings over your future self, you stay committed to your growth even when progress feels slow. You remind yourself that every step forward, no matter how small, is part of the transformation process. This mindset prevents discouragement and keeps you moving forward with hope and determination. It's important to remember that speaking who you want to become doesn't mean denying your current reality or pretending you have it all figured out. It means holding two truths at once: recognizing where you are now while also believing in your ability to grow and change. This balance keeps you grounded and realistic, yet hopeful and ambitious. It helps you avoid the trap of self-criticism while still pushing yourself toward improvement. In summary, speaking who you want to become is a powerful tool for personal transformation. It rewires your subconscious mind, clarifies your goals, builds your confidence, and sustains your motivation. By declaring your future self with faith and intention, you create a roadmap for your life that guides your actions and decisions. This practice moves you from merely existing in your current situation to actively designing the person and life you desire. Your words hold creative power. Use them wisely to speak your future into existence. Speaking blessings over yourself builds resilience in ways that go beyond just feeling good. It strengthens your mental, emotional, and spiritual capacity to face life's challenges. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going when things get tough, and to maintain hope and purpose despite difficulties. When you regularly speak blessings and affirmations over yourself, you are actively cultivating a mindset that supports resilience. This practice helps you develop inner resources that enable you to withstand pressure, recover quickly, and even grow stronger through adversity. One reason speaking blessings builds resilience is because it rewires your brain to focus on strengths rather than weaknesses. When you affirm your abilities, your worth, and your potential, you shift your attention away from fear and failure. Instead of being overwhelmed by problems, you begin to see challenges as temporary obstacles that you have the power to overcome. This positive focus creates mental clarity and calmness, which are essential for making wise decisions under stress. Blessing yourself consistently reminds you of your value and your capacity to handle difficult situations, which builds confidence and reduces anxiety. Emotionally, speaking blessings helps regulate your feelings by replacing negative emotions with hopeful and encouraging ones. When faced with hardship, it's natural to feel discouraged, sad, or anxious. However, if your internal language is filled with blessings, such as "I am strong, I am protected," or "I will get through this," you create emotional stability. These words act like emotional anchors that prevent you from being swept away by despair or panic. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience, meaning you can experience tough emotions without being controlled by them. You learn to respond to difficulties with grace and composure rather than reaction or retreat. Spiritually, speaking blessings connects you with a deeper source of strength and peace. Many spiritual traditions teach that words spoken in faith invite divine help and protection. When you bless yourself, you are not only affirming your own worth, but also acknowledging a higher power working through you. This spiritual connection provides comfort and courage during trials, reminding you that you are not alone. The sense of being supported by something greater than yourself is a powerful source of resilience that transcends mere human strength. It encourages hope and perseverance even in the darkest moments. Another way speaking blessings builds resilience is by encouraging a growth mindset. Instead of seeing failure as final or personal, you begin to view it as a step in the learning process. Blessings remind you that you are continually evolving and that setbacks are opportunities to grow rather than signs of defeat. This perspective fosters adaptability and determination, two critical components of resilience. You become less afraid of making mistakes and more willing to try new approaches, knowing that each experience contributes to your development. The habit of speaking blessings also prepares you for future challenges by reinforcing positive expectations. When you consistently declare that you will succeed, be healed, or overcome obstacles, you mentally rehearse success. This rehearsal builds your psychological readiness to face difficulties with confidence. Your brain becomes accustomed to expecting positive outcomes, which influences your behavior and decision making. You are more likely to take proactive steps, seek solutions, and maintain perseverance because your words have trained your mind to anticipate victory. Moreover, speaking blessings over yourself builds resilience by creating a foundation of self-compassion. Often people who struggle with resilience are harsh and critical toward themselves when they fail or suffer. This self-judgment can deepen wounds and prolong recovery. However, when you bless yourself with kindness and encouragement, you cultivate a gentle inner voice that supports healing. Self-compassion allows you to forgive mistakes, learn from them, and move forward without being weighed down by guilt or shame. This compassionate self-talk is essential for sustaining resilience over the long term. In conclusion, speaking blessings upon yourself is a powerful practice for building resilience in every area of your life. It shifts your mental focus to strengths, stabilizes your emotions, connects you to spiritual support, fosters a growth mindset, prepares you for challenges, and nurtures self-compassion. Through consistent blessing and positive affirmation, you create an inner foundation that enables you to face adversity with strength, courage, and hope. This resilience not only helps you survive difficult times, but also empowers you to thrive and grow beyond them. Your words truly have the power to build the strongest mindset you will ever need. What you say in private matters most because the unseen words you speak to yourself when no one else is listening are the foundation of your character, mindset, and destiny. While public words can influence others and shape your external reputation, it is the private, internal dialogue that truly defines who you are and what you become. These quiet moments of self-talk carry the greatest weight because they reveal your true beliefs and feelings, which eventually guide your actions. If you fill your private thoughts with blessings and encouragement, you build a strong inner life that can withstand external challenges. But if your private words are filled with doubt, fear, or self-criticism, they erode your confidence and limit your potential. In private, you have the opportunity to speak honestly and freely to yourself. This is the place where your true identity is formed. The words you choose in these moments reveal what you truly believe about your worth, your capabilities, and your future. Many people underestimate the power of this internal conversation because it is invisible to others. Yet, it shapes your emotions, your decisions, and your daily habits. When you consistently bless yourself in private, saying things like, "I am worthy, I am growing, and I am capable," you are nurturing an inner garden that produces strength, peace, and resilience. Private words also build your self-picture, the mental picture you have of yourself. This self-picture influences how you present yourself to the world. If your internal dialogue is positive and hopeful, you carry yourself with confidence and act with purpose. On the other hand, if your private words are negative or filled with fear, you may unconsciously project insecurity or hesitation. Even if you try to mask these feelings publicly, your inner words influence your body language, tone of voice, and the energy you emit. Therefore, cultivating a positive private language is essential for authentic and empowered living. Moreover, private words are critical because they influence your motivation and persistence. When you face setbacks or failures, the words you speak to yourself in solitude determine whether you give up or keep going. If your internal language encourages you with phrases like, "This is a learning experience," or "I will try again," you build endurance and hope. But if you berate yourself or doubt your worth, you increase the risk of discouragement and quitting. Blessing yourself privately becomes a source of comfort and strength that fuels your ability to overcome obstacles. Another important reason private words matter most is that they establish the beliefs that become automatic habits. Your subconscious mind listens attentively to your internal dialogue and stores these repeated messages as truths. These truths shape your habits, reactions, and emotional responses. For example, if you regularly tell yourself, "I am capable," your subconscious mind programs you to behave in ways that reflect competence and confidence. This programming happens quietly over time, but results in significant transformation. Positive private words rewire your brain for success and happiness by creating supportive mental habits. Private words also serve as a shield against external negativity. Life inevitably brings criticism, rejection, and hardship. When you have a strong foundation of blessings and positive affirmations spoken in private, you are less vulnerable to these external blows. Your internal voice reminds you of your worth and purpose, even when others doubt or discourage you. This internal affirmation protects your spirit and keeps you focused on your goals and values despite outside pressures. It's important to realize that nurturing positive private words requires intention and practice. Often, negative or limiting self-talk becomes a default because it has been repeated for so long. Changing this pattern means consciously choosing new words to speak in solitude. Developing this habit can be as simple as starting your day with a few blessings or quietly affirming your strengths and hopes throughout the day. Over time, this consistent practice strengthens your inner voice and transforms your internal landscape. In summary, what you say in private is the cornerstone of your character and destiny. These unseen words build your self-picture, shape your habits, influence your motivation, and protect you against negativity. By cultivating a practice of speaking blessings and positive affirmations to yourself when alone, you create an inner life rich in strength, hope, and resilience. This private language becomes the silent engine that drives your external success and happiness. Remember, your greatest power lies in the words you choose to speak to yourself in the quiet moments. Choose them wisely and watch your life transform. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you begin to awaken the incredible power within that many people never fully realize they possess. This power is not about force or control, but about tapping into your inner potential and aligning yourself with the positive energy that drives growth, healing, and transformation. Blessing yourself is a way of acknowledging your worth, your gifts, and your ability to overcome challenges. It is a conscious act of self-love and faith that opens the door to new possibilities and a deeper connection with your true purpose. Awakening your inner power through blessings starts with recognizing that your words carry creative energy. Every time you speak positively about yourself, you are planting seeds of strength and hope that grow within your mind and spirit. These seeds influence your emotions and actions, setting in motion a cycle of empowerment. Instead of being trapped by fear, doubt, or past failures, you begin to experience a renewed sense of confidence and purpose. This shift changes not only how you see yourself, but also how you interact with the world around you. Many people live below their potential because they have not fully awakened this inner power. They may feel stuck in old habits, limiting beliefs, or external circumstances. Speaking blessings is a way to break free from these chains. It reminds you that you have the ability to change your life by changing your thoughts and words. Blessings fuel your motivation and inspire you to take action even when the path ahead is unclear or challenging. This awakening transforms hesitation into courage and uncertainty into determination. As you speak blessings upon yourself, you also begin to notice subtle changes in your energy. You feel lighter, more hopeful, and more open to receiving good things. This energetic shift is important because it affects how you attract people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. When you carry the vibration of blessing, you become a magnet for positivity and growth. Your words create a ripple effect, influencing your environment and the people you encounter in ways that support your journey. Another key aspect of awakening your inner power is embracing your unique gifts and talents. Blessing yourself includes recognizing that you were created with a purpose and that your contributions matter. When you affirm your worth and abilities, you align yourself with your true calling. This alignment brings clarity and focus, helping you prioritize what truly matters and letting go of distractions or negativity. Your inner power grows stronger as you move in harmony with your authentic self. Awakening your inner power also means developing resilience and emotional strength. Life will inevitably bring challenges, but blessings help you build a foundation of faith and hope that sustains you through difficult times. When you bless yourself, you are affirming that you are capable of overcoming obstacles and that setbacks are temporary. This mindset encourages perseverance and helps you maintain balance and peace, even in the face of adversity. It's important to understand that awakening your inner power through blessings is a process, not a one-time event. It requires daily commitment and practice. You can start by dedicating a few moments each day to speak blessings aloud or silently to yourself. Over time, these words become a natural part of your thinking and being. This consistent practice rewires your brain, deepens your spiritual connection, and strengthens your emotional well-being. In essence, speaking blessings upon yourself is a powerful tool to awaken the inner power that lies within you. It shifts your mindset, elevates your energy, clarifies your purpose, and builds resilience. This awakening is the key to unlocking your full potential and living a life filled with confidence, joy, and meaningful achievement. When you consciously bless yourself, you step into the truth of who you are, powerful, worthy, and capable of creating the life you desire. When you choose to speak blessings upon yourself consistently, you are taking control of your life's narrative and stepping into a transformative process that changes your thoughts, emotions, and actions. This deliberate practice is not just about saying positive words. It is about rewiring your entire mindset to focus on growth, hope, and possibility. By speaking blessings, you build a mental and emotional foundation that supports your personal evolution and aligns you with your highest potential. The impact of this habit extends far beyond the moment you speak. It shapes your daily life and ultimately your destiny. One of the most important effects of speaking blessings is that it shifts your mental focus. When you regularly affirm your strengths, worth, and potential, you train your brain to look for evidence that supports these beliefs. This is crucial because the brain tends to focus on what it expects to find. If your internal dialogue is filled with doubts and fears, you are more likely to notice failures and obstacles, reinforcing a negative cycle. But when your words are blessings, your mind becomes alert to opportunities, progress, and positive experiences. This shift in focus naturally increases your motivation and optimism, creating a feedback loop of success and encouragement. Speaking blessings also impacts your emotional state in powerful ways. Positive affirmations evoke feelings of hope, peace, and confidence. These emotions are not superficial. They influence your physiological responses and overall well-being. When you bless yourself, you reduce stress and anxiety, boost your mood, and increase your resilience to life's challenges. Emotional strength gained through blessings enables you to face setbacks with grace rather than despair. It helps you recover faster from difficulties and maintain a sense of balance and purpose even when times are tough. Another profound effect of speaking blessings is on your behavior and decision making. Words shape your beliefs, and beliefs guide your actions. When you speak blessings, you are essentially creating a new belief system that supports growth and success. This new mindset influences the choices you make, from the goals you set to the habits you cultivate. Instead of avoiding challenges or settling for less, you begin to take proactive steps toward your dreams. Blessings fuel persistence, encouraging you to keep going when motivation wanes. They help you develop the discipline and courage necessary for lasting change. The power of blessings also extends into your relationships and interactions with others. When you speak kindly and affirmingly to yourself, you cultivate self-love and confidence, which naturally enhances how you relate to people. You become more patient, compassionate, and open. Your positive internal dialogue radiates outward, attracting supportive relationships and opportunities. Blessings create a positive energy that influences your environment, making it more conducive to growth and collaboration. It's essential to understand that speaking blessings is not about denying reality or ignoring challenges. Rather, it's about choosing to respond to reality with faith and empowerment. Blessings do not erase problems, but give you the inner strength to face them effectively. They remind you that setbacks are temporary and that you have the resources within and around you to overcome them. This mindset prevents discouragement and fosters a proactive attitude, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Consistency is key when it comes to speaking blessings. Like any habit, the impact grows over time with regular practice. The more often you bless yourself, the more deeply these positive messages embed in your subconscious mind. Over weeks and months, you will notice a transformation in your thinking patterns, emotional resilience, and the quality of your decisions. This gradual evolution is the foundation for lasting change and personal fulfillment. Speaking blessings upon yourself is a powerful practice that transforms your mind, emotions, behavior, and relationships. It shifts your focus toward positivity, builds emotional resilience, guides your actions, and enhances your interactions with others. By committing to this habit, you align yourself with growth and possibility, equipping yourself to create the life you truly desire. Blessings are not just words. They are seeds of transformation that, when nurtured consistently, blossom into a life filled with hope, strength, and success.